Hi friends, it is Tuesday, September 17th. We had our Pima County Board of Supervisors meeting. We started at 9:05 and ended at almost 2 o'clock. It was a really long meeting. We had a couple of events that sort of were and discussions. We had a couple breaks and I'll talk about that later. Feliz Mes de la Herencia Hispana. It is Hispanic Heritage Month. There were a lot of events going on. The biggest one in our family happened on Sunday with Consulado de Mexico and El Grito. It's like a really beautiful concert with the Tucson Symphony Orchestra, Mariachi Aztlán de Pueblo High School, and Compañía Danza with Chantel Rawls' beautiful performances. So it was really great. I thought it was really beautifully done. We also had, for the first time, I think, ballet dancers, which was just amazing. So I have a couple of videos up, and I'm sure the Consulado is going to put some up, so if you have an opportunity, go check those out. Those were great. We do have a couple other events. The Abuelas Project is an oral history, preserving and sharing Tucson's Barrio Story and Beyond. That'll be September 21st from 10 to 5 p.m. at Tucson Wagon and History Museum at 4823 South 6th Avenue. And then we also have a Drum Up for Peace event at the MSA Annex, Saturday, September 28th from 4 to 10 p.m. That's free. It'll be fun. I think you guys will have a great time if you go to either of those events. So our meeting started off with a lot of proclamations, and I just want to highlight this, that we had a celebration of the dedicated service of my friend and our just amazing community advocate for all things, really, Carolyn Campbell. It is Carolyn Campbell Day on Saturday, September 21st. She is officially retiring from the coalition, and so I think that it's important to note that her impact was so significant that not only did Pima County give her a day, but the city of Tucson is giving her a day, and my father, Congressman Grijalva, through Ruben Reyes, came and spoke and gave certificates, and there were about 40 people there. People that worked with her in the county, developers, other environmental groups. She just is really so well respected, and so I just want to say thank you, Carolyn, for all of your service. The Community Food Bank came and did a presentation. Pima County, so what they're doing is they just sort of did a breakdown of all the things that they're doing in our community, and they have provided 26 million pounds of food in the last year to community members in need. That's 715,000 individuals, almost 716,000. So thank you for your work and for giving us an update on all of the services that you're providing all over the county. The single family mortgage revenue bond program that passed 5-0, basically allowing people to borrow funds at a very reduced rate. So I think that's great. There was a monthly financial update and for Pima County, and we covered items like housing availability, vacancy rates in Pima County, and I think that overall our financials are stable. So although you might hear some things, because it is election season, of course, that, Pima County is running in the red, we, by statute, are not able to do that. And so I think that it would be helpful if you have any questions about our financials to go ahead and go in and check that out. We had retired General Ted Maxwell come and give us an update on the RTA next draft plan. And my comment to him was, when the city of Tucson has equity and has, the resources that they pay into, it directly benefits District 5. And so because District 5 is a majority of the city of Tucson, I think it's important that we make sure that the city of Tucson is able to draw upon the funds that are generated by City of Tucson residents. So Pima County Housing Trust Fund, we had an item that discussed pay-go, increased taxes, the possibilities of how can we increase from $5 million to the gap funding that's available for housing right now that our office put on a budget 3 years ago, and now there's a push to increase that amount, which I'm completely in favor of. I just want to make sure that we figure out a way to do that in a way that is not going to negatively impact our community members. I'm not in favor of a regressive tax. I'm also not in favor of an increased property tax. I know that all of us, including myself, we had a big bill at the end of this year that impacted us. So how can we do more with the funding that we already have available? is my goal. We approved 3 grants that are being paid for by opioid abatement funding, and those funds are going into detainee or people that are transitioning out of the jail. I think that's important because we want to reduce recidivism. We approved $18.7 million in federal funding to continue to support asylum seeker services, and this would be through 2026, 2026, and I think that it's important for us to be able to access those. We actively sought the funding. We wrote a grant. We were awarded the grant, and this is the acceptance of that, because I think that if the problem still exists and we don't have federal funding to address it, then we'll have to tap into county funds in order to address it, or leave the city of Tucson with all the responsibility, which really for a region our size is just not something that I would ever advocate doing. So there was a capital fund project item that had to do with renovations to Superior Court. That item that was removed from the agenda and will be brought back. I do think that it's important for us, before we start expending $18 million on renovations to Superior Court, not suggesting that those things are not necessary. They've been in the books for 5 years. But with all of the other facility needs that we have, I think that we have to have a comprehensive review of what our needs are before we dedicate $18 million to renovations at Superior Court. The item passed 4-1 for the Southwest Nonprofit Housing Corporation, Rio Azul Apartment. They're going to be accessing $1 million of that $5 million that I was talking about in gap funding to construct 13 one-bedroom units, and those are affordable housing units. So little by little, Pima County is adding to the inventory of affordable housing that's available for all of our community, and I'm glad to be a part of that. Our next meeting is going to be on Tuesday, October 1st. I want to thank you all for your attention, and thanks for keeping up with Pima County politics. Stay safe, my friends.